We are Tucson's rock station. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
I missed it. I'll do it again. Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live from Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Thursday, May 22nd. Good morning, Emil.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Gonna have another great one as we count down the days until our summer vacay and going into a 3-day weekend, which is Memorial. And I hope you guys are getting ready for that as well. Break out the barbecue, do your deeds. You have a go-to barbecue item where you're like king barbecue of?
Yeah, steaks.
Yeah, steaks. You don't do the carne asada?
I do. I love carne asada. But I need my meat a little thicker.
Oh, you need you want a torta. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I like that too. So I'll be grilling up some carne asada this weekend as well and getting excited about that. And just everything else mentally, just counting down the days. Started off this morning a little odd. You know, I go through with Dunkin' Donuts every day.
Oh.
And my Dunkin' has like a rotating cast of characters, right?
Right.
Nobody is like, I just want to pause it real quick. We'll continue our show open, but how Emil said, I need my meat a little thicker. I'm going to clip that, save that, replay that. It's going to be amazing.
It's just going to be an everyday occurrence, right? I knew what I was saying.
That's a good sound drop. No, you can't take claim to it now.
Hey, you know what? I thought about it a second before I said it, and I'm like, just go through it.
You hesitated because you're like, I shouldn't say this. And then you're like, okay, I got to say it. I need my meat a little thicker.
I'm going to give him one.
That's going to be a sound drop that you're going to hear on the show in 2024. It's going to be amazing.
Wonderful.
Oh, wait, is it 2025?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Hey,
2025.
welcome to 25.
Shit. All right, let's continue our show open here. Consistent there. I mean, there was consistency a little while ago, and then, you know, I ended up developing a crush, and then they transfer.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I've had this one employee, super nice lady, who, you know, is abrasively pushing the Dunkin' Donuts app on me.
You're going to do it. Take it.
Right.
Download it.
Right. And in a way, it's like, look, you know, obviously, a lot of us are cranky first thing in the morning before we get our caffeine and stuff. I'm not trying to be bombarded with this. I know that I'm being fiscally irresponsible by not downloading an app and getting a free coffee of something I get every single day on the way to work, you know. And she's one of these like lean ins and, you know, has an energy that is not matched at 5:30 in the morning.
Right. Take it down a little bit, lady.
Yeah, but her intentions are pure, and I'm not, you know, upset at this woman whatsoever for being a nice person, but I'm just not in the mood for it, right? So again, she's already said it a couple times. I'm like, yeah, I know, I passed, thank you. You know, I don't need to tell you the reasons why. I just don't, right? So this morning, it's this lady again, and she's like, leans in. She's like, I know I told you this before, but you know how much money you'd be saving if you download the Dunkin' Donuts app? And I'm like, look.
I told you this before.
No, she recognizes me, right? And I was like, look, I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts when I was a kid. She's like, oh, really? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And I stole so much money from the register, like thousands of dollars. I would be able to skim from the top of the register. I was making like $1,000 a week for a good couple years working at Dunkin' Donuts. And she like clutches her pearls. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, so this is my way to pay back Dunkin' Donuts, right? I'm just trying to make things right.
This is your karmic retribution that you're putting out there.
Yeah, and so she didn't even understand that. And she's like, oh my God, you need to ask Jesus for forgiveness. And then slaps my car, right? And I'm like, for the Dunkin' Donuts Jesus is Ben Affleck. And I DM'd him, and we're cool. You know what I mean? Like, did you not just hear I'm making it right? I'm balancing it out myself. Jesus knows what I'm doing. And, you know,
he's cool with it.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, and I step through those pearly gates, and they go through my whole, you know, repertoire, my whole life story to see whether, you know, I get accepted or not. They're going to be like, oh, okay, when you were 17, you made a lot of money at Dunkin' Donuts that you shouldn't have. But I do see as an adult, you refuse to download the app. Good man.
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna call this even, okay?
Yeah. That's penance enough. How many free coffees you get for Dunkin'? None? Okay, well, that's penance.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to heaven.
Yeah, enjoy your time here. We got free coffee here.
Yeah. Dunkin's to the left, right? And they will not ask you about nap. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many days you start off with where people are telling you need to ask Jesus for forgiveness, but that's how my day started.
Oh well, maybe you should, dude.
Well,
I'm going to talk to you a bit about Jesus here in the next break. Okay?
You don't have to grow your hair long enough, and then I'll ask you for forgiveness because you look Jesus-like. So
thank you, my son.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm still older than you. Am I older than you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, we're going to be on that kind of tangent all day long. But we do have tickets for Falling in Reverse. That's happening at 8 o'clock this morning. Speaking of Jesus, we posted on the Rock 102.1 Facebook page about this concert. They announced that they're coming back to Arizona, and they're going to be doing so in September, right? So Ronnie Racky's bringing a crew with them. It's almost like a festival lineup. Now, with this, though, they announced that the name of the tour is A God is a Weapon. Okay. Now, Ronnie Racky knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So we post this, right? Because, that's part of the deal. Like, hey, we'll promote the show if you give us tickets to give to our listeners.
Yeah.
Right? Simple as that. So we posted up on our Instagram and our Facebook page. And with that, it has gone viral. Super viral, in fact. We've reached over 500,000 people with this post of just a poster of Falling in Reverse. And in the comments are Jesus is king, come back to Australia, you weapon, be not deceived, God is mocked, but forever a man soweth. So like all the like religious people came out, and people from all over the world are commenting on this Tucson radio station's post about a concert that's in Phoenix.
Oh, look at you guys.
But that's how weird and odd the internet works. So when it comes to Ronnie Racky and how polarizing it is, and God as a weapon as being the tour. But yeah, so that was our massive viral post of the week, and we literally didn't have to do anything, which is fantastic. But over 500,000 people so far and growing. Every time I look at our Facebook page, we have like a handful of new comments, new shares. It's ridiculous. It is insane. In fact, actually, the actual stats here, over 500,000 people saw this, and how many shares? Like over 1,000 shares. It's insane. So, the world knows that Ronnie Racky's coming to Phoenix, Arizona. Do you? Because we are giving away tickets for that show at 8:10 this morning. So actually, no, we're giving away those tickets at 7:10. Oh my God.
Even cooler.
So yeah. So keep it right here, because your opportunity to win those tickets before they go on sale this Friday is coming up in less than an hour. But before that, we'll have your morning moron coming up after music from Seether, kicking things off with Offspring and Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. There you're going to see the video of the bride wrapping her vows to a groom, and you'll see the face on the groom where you're like, he's having second thoughts. You could tell. But when we returned earlier this year, we talked about how you could finance DoorDash. This is where we're at as a society. You can finance your fast food and your restaurant food.
Just for easy payments.
Yeah, well, just a couple months later, it's already kind of backfiring.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll let you know the latest on financing DoorDash and how the accrediting partner is not doing so well after it was announced. Right after music from Volbeat, here's Buy a Monster in Hand on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Or you can join us, youtube.com/BeVegan. It's the podcast broadcast. It's the podcast broadcast. The cast that processes pods. I don't know.
It's all right.
All right, so that was my tease. Say hello to Emil, everybody, and congratulations, Manny, for your daughter graduating today. Today's our running theme was school pranks, senior pranks. Did anybody here do a senior prank? I know that we've heard from some, like Taco, Eric, they called in, and that was fun. I actually put together a list of some documented senior pranks that were so legendary they went down in history, like live farm animals in the hallway. This happened in Texas in 2009. A trio of seniors released chickens numbered 1, 2, and 4 into the school, and administrators spent hours searching for non-existent chicken number 3. That is, Jesus. That's what you know you taught him too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil geniuses. It's a school full of them.
Yeah. Just like it's like they get the chickens, and it's hard enough to chase a chicken, right? You got to be in good boxing shape,
Yeah.
according to Rocky. But then to label a 1, 2, and 4, and then waste the rest of the day looking for chicken number 3.
And he's like, he's probably dead somewhere. Let's just forget about it. Just keep an eye out or a smell out.
Yeah.
Nose out for a smell.
So amazing. All right. The fake school sale ad. A group of seniors listed their school for sale on Craigslist and Zillow, complete with photos, low teacher mileage, and ghost-free cafeteria. This just happened a couple years ago in Missouri in 2022. So that was an epic senior prank. The hallway turned slip and slide. Seniors taped down a 100-foot plastic sheet in the main hall, poured soap and water, and held the first period slide off. And this happened in Florida, obviously, 2018. So, and it could only happen in Florida because I'm sure most students showed up to school that day wearing bathing suits.
I was going to say, they probably just have their shorts on or something like that.
Oh, they're 100% wearing board shorts and bikinis, and they're going from, like school, walking straight out to the beach. I mean, like, let's be honest. We make fun of Florida, but it is still like a paradise in a lot of places.
It's pretty sweet. I was looking at houses in Florida the other day, so.
Yeah, honestly, there's not too many places I would get a different radio job in, but Florida would be one of them.
Yeah.
And move to the East Coast, like east of Texas. I'm like, I wouldn't really want to move, east of Texas, and then because I'm a West Coast kid for sure. But Florida be calling, I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure that I could be 80 years old and date someone 25. I'm sure she'll have like a light meth habit, but at 80 years old, do you think I care if my 25-year-old girlfriend does a little bit of meth? No.
Yeah, right. None of you guys have teeth at that point.
Yeah, I mean, 80-year-old me's probably selling it to her. Let's be honest.
And who knows? You might be a Florida man one day anyway.
Oh, I got Florida man DNA. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Let's see. And Derek's going to be popping in here in a little bit as well. So I see you backstage, Derek. I'm going to grab you in a minute. I'm going to get on the air and do this one story. I want Derek to do East Side, West Side for us.
Oh, cool,
it's a segment that we do on KWSS. It's fantastic, and I want you guys to know how we do it here on the podcast broadcast. You're going to really enjoy it. All right. With that said, 13 seconds. Let's get on. Last day with the kids today, and congratulations for everybody wrapping up their school years today. That is today. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beefeager Presents. Now, the world collectively sighed and rolled their eyes when it was announced that DoorDash will be rolling out financing options so you could go into debt based off of eating. It's the world we live in.
Yep.
Yeah. If you can't afford dinner today, don't worry. It's tomorrow's problem. Supersize it. Well, this is something that's been happening according to a recent report. Their partner that DoorDash got involved with, Klarna, is hemorrhaging money. And this is a quote. So basically, Klarna is the company that would allow customers to pay for their food orders in convenient installment payments rather than paying in full at the time of purchase and delivery. Now, can I be honest with you? I kind of already do this by myself because I put all my DoorDash orders on my credit card.
Okay, and then you just pay that back?
Yes.
Good.
I pay it back.
Pay it back.
I pay it back. It helps me build my credit. I pay it back every month. I try not to go overboard, but obviously if you have a credit card, you could go overboard, and I could be like, I'll pay 50 of it today and with a little bit of interest and pay a little bit more tomorrow. It's not the most responsible thing to do as a fat guy, but it's something that you do. But a couple months after this announcement, it looks like Klarna might be having a rough go of it. Compared to the first quarter of last year, Klarna's customer credit loses Klarna's customer credit losses has swelled 17%, and the company has put brakes on its plans to go public. Yeah.
Shocking.
Right. Now, throughout the loan industry, borrowers are increasingly falling behind on payments, with 41% of LendingTree customers saying they'd paid late or at least once in the last year.
Okay.
So it begs the question, however, of how a company would foreclose on defaulted burrito. But
yeah, we're gonna take your apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, which is crazy. It's like, go for it.
No. Tell me.
The fact that they didn't understand what the U.S. debt is, and they still thought this was a good idea. I think we're in $1.21 trillion in just credit card debt alone. They're like, hey, but this might work. People debt max all the time, but
Right.
are they going to burrito max?
And then they do the whole like file for bankruptcy, get out of jail free card. Be like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, let's rack this up. I mean, especially if you're with someone that already has debt, and knows that there isn't a light at the end of the tunnel, then you're just like, yeah, let's keep going.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. Let's see how much we can get away with. And if Klarna is going to be offering that just for food, I want to have a fancy dinner in. Let's go for steak today.
Yeah, it's on me.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah. Outback. Yes, I will have Awesome Blossom. Thank you very
I'll
much.
have 4 of them.
Oh, you didn't ask? Well, I'll have 2. I don't even care.
Don't worry. Put it on my credit.
Yeah. You know what makes an Awesome Blossom more awesomer? When that Awesome Blossom is free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bodacious blossom. That's when you upgrade from awesome to bodacious. It just, I don't make the rules. That's just how it works.
Just what it is.
Speaking of DoorDash, they actually snitched out their customers and revealed in the latest report of what we're ordering the most, right? And it kind of breaks down per generation. And it basically shows me that Generation Z is A, the brokest, and B, the dumbest. Because, I'm sorry, let me throw in C, for lazy.
Yeah.
Because they saw, seeing a restaurant item go viral on social media has led to 3/4 of Generation Z and millennials to order it. But the most shocking report is that Generation Z is door dashing drive-through food at an obscene rate.
Okay.
And you would assume that most of these people have options to get like rides to a Jack in the Box or could drive through said Jack in the Box. Right. But instead of going through the drive-through, the teeniest inconvenience of utilizing the drive-through, they rather have someone deliver them that jumbo jack at 3 times of what they would pay if they just drove through.
I need a personal taxi for my Western bacon cheeseburger right now. And I'm going to pay for it.
Now, I get it, because orders with hemp THC beverages increase as well. So maybe you're too high. You don't want to leave your house and it's a high tax. But at the same time, dude, plan accordingly and get high after you drive through and then reheat or something. But seeing this, because every time I look through DoorDash, I always snicker when I see like McDonald's on there. Because I'm like, besides if you don't have vehicle or, you're disabled or anything, then I can see how that's
one thing.
100%. What a great option to have. All right. But if you have any means of transportation or you are within walking distance, and when I say walking distance, within a mile of a fast food restaurant, then get your fat ass
You're
up
just
and
being
walk,
lazy. Yeah. And just work off that Big Mac.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Because when you go there, then you could actually, get the fries along with it and maybe a cheeseburger too. Now I'm just showing you what my order is. But either way, that's just some of the stuff. Also, DoorDash orders with non-alcoholic beer were up 82% from 2023 to 2024. And that's really because, we were still kind of in pandemic when alcohol orders were through the roof because we had to sit there and get drunk because we didn't know if the world was ending or not. Also, nearly all customers, 98%, admit that they've ordered delivery to satisfy a craving. Is that what usually when you do it?
I've never done it.
You never DoorDash?
I've never DoorDashed before.
Wow. Yeah, I've gotten to a personal relationship with my DoorDash driver.
Well, that's good. Hey, don't spit my food. That's what it is, I'll be your friend.
Yes, exactly. I don't make him do any TikTok dances for tips. It's just so it's like if I agree not to do that, you agree not to spit in my food, then we're good.
We're fine.
Yeah. And you'll still get your $5. Well, those are just some trends. Let's keep this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. I'm going to have Derek join us as well. We're going to do a round of East Side, West Side just for the podcast broadcast. If you're curious as to what that is, you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. We got music on the way from Fall Out Boy and Dio on Rock 102.1 KFMA. What an odd combo, by the way. Fall Out Boy and Dio going back to back.
I thought that when I had to see that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll watch it.
Let's get Derek here. What up, D-Rock?
What's going on?
Not much, dude. How you doing?
Oh, fantastic, man.
Yeah, got good light going on. You remember Emil? Have you met Emil before?
I don't think so. If not, how's it going, man?
Okay, yeah, I don't think you have. Okay, so Emil, this is Derek. Derek, this is Emil.
Nice to meet you.
Derek or D-Rock, he's the one who got me into radio. He was the first person. He put out the Craigslist ad that I responded to, the first person to say, I like the cut of this guy's jib. And then we started co-hosting a late night show before taking over mornings for a while. And so Derek has been instrumental in the return to Phoenix as well.
Cool.
And Emil, aka the Boy Wonder, was one of the first guys that I met when I moved down here. And he was working on KFMA as the midday host and also host of the test department, which is pretty much like KWSS. So you're picking out new music, playing a feature in that. Yeah. So, we're all, similar dudes, similar beards, similar styles.
Hey.
Different BMIs, you got before, after, and what the fuck. So
all over the spectrum.
yeah, we're covering all the spectrum. And so, we're going to do something a little different here today on the podcast broadcast. We're going to break out a segment that I'm going to pre-record here for KWSS a little bit later on. So there's a segment that I consider it a gold star segment, right? A 5-star segment, if you will. It is East Side, West Side. So here's the thing. Everyone in Tucson assumes that Phoenix hates Tucson as much as Tucson hates Phoenix, but that's never the case. In fact, actually, Phoenix is too busy hating Phoenix to even care about Tucson.
You don't even think about anybody in Tucson.
No, because Phoenix is so big that we hate different sections of Phoenix because they're their own little states within it, right? So, I mean, if you look at Tucson's about 1 million people. It's population.
Mm-hmm.
That's the population of Glendale. That's the population of Tempe.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Phoenix is a population of 3 million, but Scottsdale that's another million. So that's another Tucson. So you got to add about 6 Tucsons together, like
before we can
concurrent.
get to that level.
But that is Phoenix. So, since there's so many people, like 20 miles of distance can really change a person's persona and their surroundings and how they grew up. So then these reputations, the stereotypes of East Siders and West Siders started, cultivating, like growing throughout the years. And so, and it's a running thing. And so people on the East Side hate West Siders and vice versa.
Different cultures too.
Absolutely different cultures. And this is an example of that. So basically, what I have Derek do is give me a true story, a crime story from Phoenix, and given the information, I have to decide whether the person's an East Sider or a West Sider based off of it. And I tell him, Derek, how am I at this game?
He's so good at this. He's like East Side, West Side Oracle. He knows his sides. He knows his people.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I try to break it down for Andrew and stuff to try to make it easy for them. If you want to think West Sider, think all Tucson. And, we are West Sided people, kind of, in a way. I don't know if people will like that as a compliment or not, but I enjoy it. So let's do that. This is the magic of radio. A couple times today, we're giving you a peek behind the fourth wall. So pre-recording this for KWSS later in the afternoon. It's KWSS 93.9. Welcome back to Beefeager Presents. That was July Talks with Picturing Love. I got Derek here along with Emil, and it's time for another edition of East Side, West Side. If you don't know by now, my good friend Derek will give me a true crime story from the Valley of the Spun, and based off the information given, I must decide on whether the perpetrator or perpetrators is from the east side of the valley or the west side of the valley, using Central Avenue as the divider line. What's the headline that we have today, Derek?
A man put beef in his briefs and got himself into a situation trying to outsmart the system on Friday morning.
A man put me in his briefs and tried to outsmart the system? You see what I did it? That's my name? Okay, I'm stupid. All right, so he put beef in his briefs and tried to outsmart the system.
Yep. Yeah, so a 52-year-old man was arrested for felony shoplifting charges after a few late-night visits to a local Circle K.
Circle K, okay.
Circle K surveillance showed him entering and leaving the store multiple times between 12:45 and 2:50 a.m., each time shoving a few snacks, sometimes some drinks, into his pants. Officers were called to the store around 3 a.m. after the report of stolen wine and snacks.
Stolen wine, yeah.
After reviewing the footage, they saw the man stuffing beef sticks, a bottle of wine, and a whole damn sandwich into his stretchy sweatpants. And when they searched the nearby area, they found him sitting at a park picnic table with an open bottle of wine at his feet, multiple beef sticks tossed on the picnic table, and then wrappers for other stolen items tossed in a trash can nearby.
All right, so before we continue and ask questions, this obviously screams West Side all over the place, and I feel like it's trapped. First, you got the Circle K.
Okay.
You got the guys stealing Slim Jims, basically, the beef sticks. Maybe it's jerky. Did they tell you exactly what kind of brand a beef stick it was?
They didn't brand it. It's just beef sticks.
Okay. And then he takes the wine, goes to a nearby park, starts drinking wine in a park, straight up wino style, right? So, I mean, everything about this is screaming West Side, but I feel like that's the trap here. Especially also with the Circle Ks. I will eliminate Scottsdale from this, but there are a couple other regions throughout the valley that I'm still considering. All right, so he did this a couple times before he actually got caught, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And he's wearing sweatpants. Were they gray sweatpants? Because, I mean, you can see the bulge in gray sweatpants. They're the thirst trap sweatpants. And this guy's like, check out my massive wine hog, huh?
Yeah, he was going. He was hitting on late. No, it didn't say the color of the sweatpants. But when the police approached him, he did tell him that he bought the wine at another store.
Okay, what store did he say that he bought the wine from?
The other Circle K.
Oh, okay.
But his prior record of shoplifting at all kinds of other Circle Ks would say that he didn't actually pay for it.
Damn.
And he's facing more than 4 years in prison on shoplifting charges for this one.
Damn. So he's a serial Circle K shoplifter. I know. Oh, gosh, man. I mean, it does not get more West Side than this, but I do feel like something is off. And I kind of want to, for whatever reason, I continue to think Tempe in this scenario. Obviously, there's Circle K's in Tempe. In fact, some of the original Circle K's are out in Tempe. The Circle K and Bill and Ted's, that was shot in Tempe. It was a legendary spot. It just recently shut down a couple years ago. So I could see someone from Mesa or Tempe doing the same thing over and over again and hanging out at a park because they got, nice parks out there. In Phoenix, I don't know. I mean, we have parks and stuff, and definitely where people will sleep and camp out at. This is a tough one. This is tougher than I would assume. But I do have to come up with a conclusion. Now, Emil, you grew up in Bisbee, so you're not familiar with East Side, West Side politics and stuff. But
I did live in Phoenix for 2 years in the early 90s, but I don't remember anything because I was a kid.
What would you ask in this scenario that might help you decide whether a person's from the East Side or West Side?
Well, the idea that you're going after the Circle K's, because I know certain sides of certain towns might have a QT. Or something else that's maybe a little bit more highbrow than a Circle K. So I think that was a good path for you, especially you're talking about parks and stuff too. But Tempe does have really cool parks, Tempe Beach Park, stuff like that. I would go drink in the middle of the night at Tempe Beach Park and pass out there.
I'm just so convinced that a lot of Circle K's on the West Side have their wine and alcohol locked up behind the counter and stuff. I don't think it's available for shoplifting. You have to go behind the counter to do so.
Smart.
Yes, because West Siders will jack that and have jacked that, and that's why they've done that. So, okay, my final conclusion, and this is going to be a curveball, right? Because I should be saying West Side because everything about this story is stereotypical West Side, but I'm going to say East Side, and I'm going to say even specifically around Tempe, Mesa area. What's the conclusion?
Well, you got it right again. It is the East Side.
Man,
there it is.
Look at you.
Yeah, see, I'm an oracle.
I know.
I'm an oracle. All right, tell me more.
The suspect has a history of doing this in Mesa and Chandler. This time he was caught in Maricopa, so it's almost down by you guys.
Yeah. Damn. All right. Excellent.
Well, East Side.
Yeah, I take it. I'll take that as a dub. Thank you so much. And I knew that you were trying to swerve me on that because seriously, man, it's so West Side. You could have told me the dude had a mullet and listened to what is it, Morgan Wallen, and then still it would be you son of a bitch. You can't make it more West Side than that. Well, excellent job. That's East Side, West Side. Chalk up another dub for your boy. We got more music on the way here from Metric and Sheryl Crow, Billy Joe Armstrong, everybody. First, here's Band of Skulls with Sweet Sour, 939 KWSS. There you go. And that was East Side, West Side. What do you guys think of it on the stream? Let me know. Somebody's calling real quick. Let's see what we got. Oh, they hung up. All right, cool. Save me the trouble of they're calling back. All right, once Rock 1 2 by 1. Who's this?
This is Rachel. I was actually curious if you guys will be giving away falling in reverse tickets.
That's an excellent question. We are giving away falling in reverse tickets tomorrow morning at 8:10 a.m. That's my last pair of winning before you could buy them tickets for falling in reverse. Let's see what other times that you might potentially have an opportunity to win those. Let's see. I know
Is
Ice
it a
Nine.
call in to win or a text now?
Oh, Rachel, have you ever listened to our show?
Yeah, here and there.
Okay, well,
I wasn't.
no,
I
it's
just tuned in this morning and caught a glimpse of it. So.
yeah, no worries. But with our show, you have to jump through hoops. You have to play games. You win the games. You have to have the person you beat agree that you win the game. So things like that. It's not as simple as just texting or just calling a magic number. But that's at 8:10. Now, as far as, let me look through here because I want to help you out. Because I know that Robin Nash is giving away tickets for Ice 9 Kills. That's a simple text to win kind of thing. More difficult to win, to be honest with you, though, because a lot more people text in, and it's so random. And then see, Razor. Does Razor have it? No, I'm the only one that has win them before you buy them tickets for Falling in Reverse. So tomorrow morning, 8:10 a.m., we're going to play a game, give those tickets away. So if you call in and play the game, win, get lucky, then those tickets could be yours.
All right, sounds good.
Right on. All right. Well, have a great day.
You.
And thanks for listening.
Bye.
Again, they didn't want to admit to listening. I get that. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Just answered a phone call here asking about those Falling in Reverse tickets, which, of course, people want those tickets, and rightfully so. It's a fantastic show. And my last pair winning before you buy them tickets happening tomorrow morning, 8:10 a.m. And we're going to play a game. I haven't decided what game we're going to play for that, but it will be fun. And that'll be 8:10. And on top of that, we'll have tickets for Ice 9 Kills. That's a separate show. But my last pair of tickets for Ice 9 Kills will be given away tomorrow morning as well. So we're going to double up, try to give people something to celebrate going into Memorial Day weekend. As I have Derek joining me on the podcast broadcast. What up, D?
What's going on, Beef?
All right. So here's, speaking of celebrations, I want to celebrate this story because every now and then I come across stories that are absurd, amazing, and just brighten up my day. Today's story does all those things. And the headline reads as such: a drug smuggling cat was caught trying to break into prison. Yeah, this is a thing that actually happened. Now, these criminals were smart and stupid at the very same time. So you could technically almost call them a morning moron, but also devious. So this is my stupid genius of the week. The people that said, I know a great way to smuggle drugs into prison. Let's train my cat. And that's how, and they'll do it. So here's, there's video including this. I'm going to share this here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so you can see this. This is deputies finding the cat and seeing this. You'll see it on the podcast broadcast. So this happened in Costa Rica. Okay, so prison officials caught this cat trying to smuggle drugs behind bars last week. They captured it while it was climbing over the fence. All right, now it was like a package wrapped around its torso, right? Now, it doesn't look like they could get that much, but you'd be impressed with the amount of drugs this cat was packing. It had over 236 grams of marijuana, right? Which
so happy.
There are 28 grams in an ounce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's we got to do weed math on this one. And I know my streamers could help me out on this.
It is
28 grams in an ounce. Yeah.
Okay. So 236 grams is how many pounds of weed that's strapped to this cat?
That's a lot of math, man.
Well, you could do that real quick while I continue the story. So 236 grams of marijuana, 68 grams of heroin strapped to this cat's back. All right. So officials believe that the cat was deployed by someone to smuggle drugs to the prisoners inside, obviously, because the cat wasn't acting on its own. The cat, they cut the drugs off the cat. They handed it over to animal control to be checked out. It's insane that they were able to train this cat to be a mule and then put that many drugs packed onto the cat. Now, in the video, we're looking at them gently unpack the drugs from the cat. Poor kitty. Now, here's a couple reasons why it's very stupid that they did this. Because first off, they did a white cat. So, and they had the cat smuggle in at night. So you could see the cat from a mile away. Like, if you're gonna have a drug smuggling cat, make it like a cat burglar. Make sure it's an all black cat,
Right.
Because A, you're in Costa Rica, they'll believe those things are bad luck, and B, it'll be harder to see. All you'll see is those little,
eyes.
The eyes light up. It'll be spooky, right? And you can't hide the eyes. So what's the weed math on that, guys? Half a pound, give or take. Thanks, Stubbs. So they basically strap about half a pound of weed and a couple ounces of heroin to this cat, and attempted to mule it into the prison. And this probably wasn't the first time they did this or attempted this, just the first time they got caught.
Yeah.
So the stupid genius of the week are the people behind the cat mule idea from the Costa Rica prison. Now they're searching through security footage to figure out who's behind this cat mule. They haven't found it out yet because, again, stupid genius. But if you are to attempt this, which you shouldn't, but definitely do it with the black cat. Right?
Maybe just think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, put some thought into it. But hey,
Oh, look, how long do you think it's going to take to train a cat to be your drug mule?
I know, right? You have to find the right cat that's like, maybe a little like open to it a little bit. A good listener.
Seems like the least trainable animal. And in there, if they're in Costa Rica's got monkeys, man.
See? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but see, you can't trust the monkeys because sometimes the monkeys are smart enough.
Themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're smart enough. They'll open up side businesses. They'll sit around. They'll break it open, start smoking hash. I mean, Google hash monkeys and have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want those things running around the jungle, okay? Meth monkeys.
Yeah, all right. But that's your super genius of the week. All right. Well, let's keep this conversation moving on to podcast broadcast. Music on the way from Audio Slave and Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yeah, no, monkeys are a thing, but yeah, I mean, I guess you can train them. And I do, I like the idea of drug smuggling cats because they are like ninjas in a way. They're very silent in their movements. They can climb things. I'm sure it's difficult to get around when you have like a pound of shit strapped to your torso and makes your movement limited. But I feel like they tested this out. For a while. This could have been something that was years in the making. And something that
they tried different animals.
Yeah, I was gonna say like trial and error. How many cats did they have to like?
Oh, they went through a lot of cats, like, for sure.
The cats that are open to the pss, pss, pss.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the thing. You say you're just a cat person. Now you see a pretty kitty walking by, you want to pet that kitty, and then you're like, "Oh my god, kitty, you just hooked me up with about 10 grand of street value."
Put him in the army.
Yeah. So I would say about 10 cats. They'd have to go through at least 10 cats to get to this drug smuggling cat. You can't have dogs do it at all.
No.
Too dumb. So no drug smuggling dogs. The monkeys in Costa Rica was brilliant and absolutely right. Should have did that, but they didn't. And
been watching that Righteous Gemstones and that little medical monkey that he had. I want one.
I haven't seen this last season, but yeah, no, I have to. And did you guys Google hash monkeys? Did you have fun with that too? I'm going to Google that as well and see what comes up right after I share this clip from Morning Moron. Earlier this morning, we talked about our stupid criminal today. In case you missed it, well, a little something like this. Check it out. Did your mom ever say, if all your friends jumped off the bridge, would you too?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's.
It's a common saying.
Yeah.
Right? Well, our Morning Moron basically was a defiant kid being like, yeah, Mom, I would. All right. So this happened up in Vancouver. A 29-year-old man in British Columbia had to be rescued the other day after he jumped off the bridge on a dare, right? And got stranded on the side of the river. Now, someone called it in. The fire boat made contact, gave him a life jacket. They watched him float for a while. And then the Coast Guard had to scramble to pick him up. And he was in the water so much that the paramedics had to take him to the hospital. Cops talked to him, thinking that he might have been trying to off himself, but that wasn't the case. He told them he jumped off the bridge because someone dared him to. And this is the Morning Moron part.
All right.
The fact that he'd also been doing meth may have been a factor.
Yeah, that'll do it. I think it adds to it.
Yeah, no, it totally adds to it.
We've all been dared.
Yeah.
But
There you go. And things you should not tell the cops for 100, Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, this is when you got to be brutally honest, right? Yeah, someone dared me to, so I decided to. I am high on meth, so maybe that led to my decision-making skills there, officer.
Oh man, if you could have gotten away with it, but just by pleading stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're getting out of a freezing cold river, that explains the shrinkage. They wouldn't assume meth in that scenario, right? But they treated him for minor injuries. It's not clear what kind of charges he might be facing. And obviously he was in a river for a while, so he didn't have any possession of meth on him. That was probably a
all
good
smoked
thing.
up.
Yeah. So he probably got away with more than he should.
Yeah.
Including his life. But it's dumb, and when you're spun and you're by a bridge over a river and stuff, don't do it. Just don't do it. I know you think you could do whatever. You feel like you're Superman, but you're not. Don't do it.
I wonder if it was just the voices that were talking him into doing this, like daring him, because he's probably out there by himself.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the dare. Like, who is this person that dared you? He's standing right next to me, officer. I don't see anyone standing next to you. Yes, yeah. So, imagining somebody dared you to jump off the bridge while high on meth, then jumping off into a bridge is definitely going to make you a morning moron. Let me ask you a question, Derek. Have you ever did a senior prank?
No, I never got the chance to do that.
Oh, sorry. Wrong channel. All right. Say it again.
No, I never got a chance to. I never I was too chicken, I guess. Never got invited to. Never was smart enough.
We had some good ones today that called in. Taco gave a pretty good one where he had to pretty much watch his back the entire summer because he locked the entire school in. By deadbolting that. And I had several other calls here. Here's one from earlier this morning because we asked that question. We're kind of running through. And this is the phone call we got. It's graduation time this year, right? Did you ever do a senior prank? Or is that just a tease? All right, that's just my tease. All right. You know what? This is not a senior prank. This is Eric being a fecal terrorist. This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, Eric, man, I love you, but you make me not like you as a person after knowing this. As a kid, you were a monster to come up with this idea right here. Listen, Rock 102.1. Who's this?
Beef Eric.
Eric, you got a senior prank story?
It wasn't a senior prank, but it was a prank in high school on the seniors.
Okay.
I was in 10th grade, and high school I went to in Florida the seniors had their own bathroom.
Oh, nice.
So I snuck into the senior bathroom one day, and I did my number 2 business. I rolled the toilet paper out about 2-3 feet, wiped, and then rolled it back up.
Ugh.
Apparently,
You're a terrorist.
One of the football players is the one that got it. And if I was ever found out, I'd have got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I guess I had the whole football team looking for me.
I mean, I like you. We're friends. And I kind of want to kick your ass for that, dude. That's gross.
Dude, I was a teenager. I was a dick.
Yeah, you're a fecal terrorist. Yeah, so fecal terrorist is a term I dubbed today. Let me trying to get
accurate.
Let it go down. Yeah, let it go down in time.
Yeah.
Some men just want to watch the world burn, though, and
right.
poop on other people's toilet paper.
There it is.
This wouldn't have happened in 2020. I got to tell you that. We would let it fly.
I get hacked, or I can't get into Twitter right now.
Maybe it was happening in 2020 to conserve toilet paper, though. To be honest,
no, that's a good way to do it.
Maybe
somebody can use this other side. Just roll it back up into this.
Let me show you our craziest video today that I'm going to share with you is from TMZ Tucson. Let's see if they posted this. Yes, this okay. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. Yes. This happened here in town. I'm assuming it's posted on TMZ Tucson, where somebody attempts to break into a man's house and rob him. Now, I think that they know each other, right? And obviously, because usually when you get robbed like this, it's because the person knows you have something valuable.
Right.
All right. So that's the warning. Check this out. And I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here. Okay. So TMZ Tucson, check this out. All right. So the guy goes, checks his ring cam. He's got a couple cameras filming inside. Looks like a business. Guy comes in with a gun. All right, now.
Was that a gun or not?
That was a gun.
All right.
And that was a gunshot. All right. So the guy who came in with the gun got shot by his own gun, right? Then this happens. Also, fair warning for language, but of course, you be dropping the N-bomb in this situation as well. With an A, of course. But
Hey, I'm bleeding. Call the ambulance, please. Call the ambulance, please. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Call the ambulance, bro. What are you doing? Please, bro.
So he's like, hey, I'm bleeding. He's like, no, you just tried to rob me, man. I'm not going to call an ambulance for you, right? You just tried to murder me. And I turned around and accidentally am probably murdering you now because of you. So who am I going to call for you? Hold on.
Please. Hey, I'm bleeding. Gang, please. Stop that shit. Hey, please. I'm bleeding. No, nigga. Gang, I'm bleeding. No, nigga, you're playing with me. Gang, I'm bleeding. Please, bro. You understand? I tried. Please, get out. Let me die. Get out, nigga. You let me die. Get out, nigga. Please, bro. I don't want nothing. Please, gang, please. Let's go to the hospital. Nigga, you gonna take me? Yeah. Oh my God. Help me, bro. Please. I can't. No. Nigga, I can't do nothing, gang. Come on, nigga. Come on, open the door. Open the door, nigga. I can't do nothing.
Yeah. Right. So then he's like, please, you going to take me to the hospital? He's like, no, I'm not taking you to the hospital. Right.
He's like somewhat calm about it. Like, no, I'm not going to do it, man. But
isn't that crazy? And then his karma is best for sure. But in that scenario where you're going in armed robbery for sure.
Yeah.
Loaded, cocked, ready to go, obviously. So you're about to kill this guy. This guy, you don't kill this guy. And then it turns around like, I was just playing. Help me out.
Yeah.
Give me a ride. Can you give me a ride? Like, would you give this guy a ride if that happened to you?
Ride to the next life, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All
That's
right.
wild.
That's Tucson.
Yeah. That's 29th Street, Tucson.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
so what do you find on this information? And I guess we'll talk a little bit about it on the air, maybe.
Kurdistan Smoke Shop, 29th Street. I mean, good
That's
reviews,
what it was.
though. Yeah. So,
it was a smoke shop. Okay, so it did look like a business. They're robbing a business. And it's so, ridiculous. And speaking of robberies, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, there was a smoke shop that got robbed in California, a weed smoke shop owned by Woody Harrelson and Bill Maher. So,
okay, yeah.
These soft targets. And it's unfortunate because obviously when, in times of financial duress as a society, that means crime goes up, period. Because people get desperate enough to do desperate things to make a means and living and stuff. So that's ridiculous and crazy. But yeah, just the fact that he turned around and then they're both, calling each other, dropping N-bomb. Again, not the racist one, the street term, if you will. There's a difference for sure.
Totally.
And yeah, that's when you go full gangster. When someone gets shot in a robbery, that's when you have permission to go full gangster. I'll tell you what, nobody's complaining about online when that video is making rounds because it's going viral here locally. And I'm sure it will go viral internationally because it's so crazy. And that's just another way that Tucson's being put on the map. That nobody in the comments are going to be like, they shouldn't be saying that. They're going to say in that scenario, you get the pass.
Yeah.
You get the pass. The guy who ended up shooting the guy who was trying to rob him gets the pass because it's like, that's a G move. And yeah, everything else, get a pass.
Fafo, man,
Yeah.
Shot him, didn't call 911, won't take him to the hospital, and I'm keeping your gun.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm going to be kind of chill about the entire situation.
Yeah.
Even though I'm winded.
Yeah.
He's at the smoke shop. He was high.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what I said. You go full gangster with the soft A and not a hard R. Facts. You're on camera. You should call 911. However, you can articulate it in a way that you can justify not expeditingly calling 911. Yeah, you're just like, hey, I feel like you you offended me, or no, you what's the words? Cross boundaries.
Yeah.
What's the therapist words? You didn't respect my boundaries and attempting to rob me. So I, therefore, am not going to return the courtesy of saving your life.
You're just going to look at the camera, and this is like a bit of a disclaimer for them. So you got to like compose yourself while all this is happening and like lay out some like legal jargon. So you're not going to get like something down the line.
Yeah.
Hey, for everybody that knows.
That kid was so young too, both of them, but it's so sad too. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about this here on that. Jeff said, I lived out 29 in Krakow a couple years. We always had a shotgun by the door just in case.
Yeah, man.
I know.
This is like what I think Alvernon and 29th. So
yeah, that's right down the road. Yeah, that's why I keep it strapped. You know what I mean? I just sit at home while I watch Netflix, double barrel, just at the door, ready to go.
50
Don't
cals.
knock. That's why I say DoorDash. Leave it at the door. Don't you knock.
Yeah. I'll shoot you.
Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Vegan Presents. That was the first thing they just heard on the air, Emil, is I'll shoot you.
I mean it too, okay?
Okay, we're just reacting to this clip that TMZ Tucson just posted on their Instagram this morning. It's a wild clip of an attempted robbery that happened at a smoke shop here in town on 29th and Alvernon. What's the name of the smoke shop?
Kurdistan Smoke Shop.
Kurdistan
in Kurdistan.
Shop. Yeah. So, and this video is crazy. I can't play you the audio on the air, but what happened was a young man attempted to rob the smoke shop. So he knocks on the back door. He gets let in. So I have a feeling they know each other. Then bum rushes the owner of the smoke shop with gun in hand. There's a tussle real quick, and during the tussle, the smoke shop owner or employee was able to turn the gun around on the person attempting to rob him. The gun goes off. He gets shot in the torso.
Yeah.
During that, then, the person who's attempting to rob the smoke shop then asks him for help and to take him to the hospital, to which the smoke shop owner's like, no, you go to the hospital on your own. He's like, I'm not helping you at all.
Yeah.
And then is brandishing the gun back at him. In that scenario, I was asking the same thing. Like, what would you do in that scenario? Again, this is of somebody who had a gun. It was cock loaded. So he was basically was prepared to leave there a murderer.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen that day. And the gun literally got turned around on him. And now, he's the one pleading for help and apologizing and doing the sob story of like, my family's in need and things like that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, if I'm the smoke shop owner, I have no empathy for this man either.
Not at all, man. You don't know it. The smoke shop owner is working for a living, okay? He has a family too, possibly.
Yeah.
You try to end his life.
Oh, you
like,
kidding me? You good luck finding a smoke shop employee that doesn't have one or two babies mamas at the very least, for sure. Now, unfortunately, smoke shops, weed shops, they become like targets for people who are looking for quick cash. In fact, actually, a weed shop in California called The Woods in West Hollywood was just ripped off over the weekend. That shop is owned by Woody Harrelson and Bill Maher. 5 guys broke into that pot shop, and one of the other owners posted video footage of men ransacking the store after entering and breaking through a window. They filled up bags with stolen product and then fled in a black sedan. And of course, this has happened. We don't report these stories often for a good reason, right? But it happens a lot. In California, it's been happening all the time. A lot, right? Because you're talking about, you got product that has immediate resale value on the street that sells itself.
My question is like what the insurance is like with this, because it's federally still illegal.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's like a weird gray zone where they can't get coverage.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
I think just because of that gray zone, and it is unfortunate. So, I mean, to protect these businesses as the people continue to vote state by state to decriminalize and legalize THC and those products, to protect those businesses and the employees in those businesses, we need to stop D'ing around and legalize it federally.
Right.
The fact that we've gone through now several administrations, all soft promising and never delivering,
every
right?
time.
When we know the tax revenue from that alone is beneficial to states and local counties and governments, why am I the one that knows this? I'm the idiot in the room. And the fact that it's so obvious to me should be a shame on every single politician for the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And putting people like this to be victimized by a society of people who don't have money. So yeah, a weed shop's going to look like it's a good score. I shouldn't end on that note though. So that's my political rant of the day. And you know what was good about this, Emil?
That's it.
This political rant. It was, was it
Non-biased?
Yeah, non-biased.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
everybody. It's on both sides. They're both idiots.
I just had to prove I'm an idiot again. Yeah,
That's all right. You're fine, man.
Left side, right side. Oh, well, let's legalize the green. I don't care if you're red or blue. What about the green? You put the red and blue together. That's green, baby.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
It's not. But let's say it is.
No, but
Let's say blue and yellow, and say red's acting yellow right now because it's not legalizing the green. So you add that with the blue, and then it's a green. You see the math?
I love your centrist viewpoints.
So when it comes to this is one of those issues that literally has brought America together. Most of Americans do agree, according to survey after survey. I mean, not in Missouri, but stay away from Missouri.
Yeah.
How about we just do federally, with the exception of Missouri?
Just everywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting high off of like cow dung.
Good for them. Got to do something, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And so, I am bummed that I ran out of time, so I can't play Nookie from Limp Bizkit today.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
But maybe tomorrow. Like I said, we got a kind of a revamped lineup here on KFMA, and I'm super stoked about that. So maybe I will squeeze it in before Robin Nash. So let's just end the show and say thank you guys for listening. Tomorrow morning, you have 2 different opportunities to win tickets. One for Ice Nine Kills before they go on sale, and the other for Falling in Reverse before they go on sale. So tune in bright and early for your opportunities to win. Falling in Reverse will be right at 8:10 a.m. As for Ice Nine Kills, gotta listen tomorrow to find out. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. And here comes outro. Legalize weed, man. Oh, damn it. They didn't do the outro. All right. They will now.
There it is. What?
It's coming. And then when I play it, then I will finally do the outro here. All right. That concludes the beefy and political rant of the day.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come.
And people ever ask,
and
like,
do
I
all
wonder
your
why he
grief.
sounds like such a burnout.
But if
Oh, you hear him talk about weed?
mean or kind of bad,
He's just
I
passionate.
will knock out all your teeth.
A booski. Legalize it. Boop, boop, boop.